Hello Blizzard fans, this is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another Daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Walnut and Stropheum on Iron Fortress, the latter edition. Now, Walnut is a good friend of mine from SCV Rush, and I put out a general announcement saying, please send me your Legacy of the Void replays to every single member of SCV Rush, and Walnut was nice enough to actually send me a whole bunch. So, Walnut said, cast this replay first, and you will know why. So I didn't actually watch this beforehand, so we're going to be surprised together. And the bottom right, we have the red Protoss player, our hero. It is Walnut. I do also want to mention you can find Walnut on YouTube at Walnut Gaming. He's also on Twitch with Walnut Gaming. There's a lot of streaming out there with Legacy of the Void with a lot of good stuff. So follow him, check him out. Again, he's a really fun watch, a really solid Protoss player. In the bottom left of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is the enemy. It is Stropheum. And we'll have to see what's going on in this PvZ. This is a pretty darn huge map. Again, I always like to point out the giant Zerg logo in the middle here. I mean, look how beautiful that is. It helps me feel that Zerg players have good karma, and they'll have a good chance to win when they play on this map. We'll have to see how things go against Walnut, though. I'm pretty sure Walnut submitted losses as well as wins over here, just because I think he knows that's what I like. But we'll have to see what happens regardless. We are scouting with the probe. Walnut is not always a huge fan of scouting. I've watched a lot of Heart of the Swarm play of his on his stream. And scouting is not something he likes to do. But actually, with this Adept opening, let's slow this down just a little bit. You actually need to know where the Zerg player is to do the harassment with these Adepts. So that's probably why he is scouting. He's going to scout to the last possible place, and yes, there's nothing there, so the Adepts are heading to the bottom left because the probe at the top left is finding absolutely nothing. So here comes the Adept. Again, they do 23 damage to light units, which means they can two-shot Zerglings. They do really good against drones as well, and they are pretty darn maneuverable with that psionic transfer ability. So here comes this guy. Basically can take a ton of damage from these queens, no problem. Look how many shots it is just to get through the shields. Already up to what, 3 kills? Yep, 3 drone kills, no problem, and then heads out and waits for those shields to regenerate. Here comes another Adept with this harassment. There are Lings, but they can't take this number of Adepts, even if they got a surround. I think this number of Lings could not kill them before they would die. One shot from each of these at the same time, bam bam, a Zergling dies. So pretty interesting stuff. This Adept opening allows you to be safe back home. Again, I feel like there are a lot of good safe openings for Protoss against Zerg regardless, but this level of harassment is just not something we've really seen before. Using Psionic Transfer to get up here and try to kill this drone before it turns itself, yep, sniping it down before it turns into a hatchery, just amazing play. And then moving back on down, the Lings come back home, say, alright, these Adepts need to go down. A little bit scared though, kind of hanging up over this area. The Queen at the front, another Queen backing her up. The Contain is here, and an Oracle is on the way. 20 Lings popping out though at the same time, and actually a Fleet Beacon on the way after this Stargate. Huge. Okay, this number of Lings is enough to kill these Adepts, and they do get sniped down. The Zerg player feels safe enough to take his third. The Oracle starts moving on in though, and actually sniping down a bunch of workers. The Queen can kill it, but again, it just takes a long time. So good micro here, sniping down these workers one by one. 6, 7 kills, 8 kills now, 9 kills. Is it going to be able to escape, or is it going to die? Oh, a final hit. The Oracle does die. It had 9 or 10 worker kills there. A total of 13 workers have died for the Zerg player. He is down 31 to 26. The Lings want revenge. They're heading across the map, but there is a cannon. There is a sentry with a good force field. There's no way these Lings are getting through here, especially with the Adepts backing things up. Is that Fleet Beacon done? It is. We are going Tempest. Alright, so Tempest attacks from long range, can use Disintegration. Disintegration, is that a new ability for the Tempest? I believe it is. We'll have to see what happens. Look at this. Walnut is getting Tempest at 5 minutes and 24 seconds. I mean, that is so early. Those early workers in the game, at the beginning of the game, in the early game, make a huge difference to how the game continues on. So we'll have to see what this Tempest is able to do. I want to see this Disintegration ability. Disintegration deals 550 damage over 57 seconds. Yeah, I have to imagine that is new in Legacy of the Void. So what's he going to use it on is the question. Is it enough to take down a hatchery? No, 2,000 hit points there. No way. Maybe take down a Roach Warren? No. What do we use? I mean, it's probably used for big units, right? But I don't know what there is, honestly. Wow, this is so weird. Follow, escape, follow. Alright, we gotta pay attention here. Okay, so uses the disintegration on the queen. It's taking so much damage. Oh no, slowly dying. And the queen is going to die here very soon. Slowly dying and explodes. There we go. A couple shots off. Does manage to hit the queen a little bit. There are Hydras out now. That's a huge deal. Hydras do pretty darn well against Tempest if they can hit them. It's just Tempest have this super long range. Flying on into the Tempest. Is there a queen here? No, there is not. My work is done. I want to keep the queens away from these hatcheries, away from these lairs as best I can to slow down the macro ability of Stropheum. And here we go. The extractor actually has exactly 500 hit points. This does 550. So that extractor is going to die. Very slowly, but it's going to die. Ah, Lurker. Lurker Den coming on in. Good scouting overlords. Sees a couple things. Sees the army composition. Not much has happened to get into the main base, though. Zerglings are here just kind of waiting around. And this, I mean, it takes a long time for things to die with disintegration. Where are one of these guys? Here they are. 57 seconds. Okay. So I mean, it takes a whole minute for it to die, which in StarCraft 2 time is insane. Psionic Transfer trying to snipe down. Missed the last force field. Couldn't keep the Zerglings inside. They will live to fight another day. We come back, and this is still dying. A minute in game time is actually literally an eternity. There we go. Extractor dies. Should be rebuilt immediately by Stropheum, and it is. I don't know how viable that is, you guys. I'm not going to lie. All right, good wall off here. If we can get the wall off in time. Gateway. There we go. So very safe. Getting the third base up. 3 bases for Zerg, but again, he's down 42 to 39 Harvesters. And he does have a pretty good Roach army, but not as big as he would like to have, just because, again, that early harassment really messed him up pretty bad. The Tempest harassed as well. We do not have a queen down here at the natural to do things. Lings coming in, trying to snipe stuff down. These Hydras actually going to do a great job against these buildings as well. Responding, though, are the Adepts, are the Tempests. And what's the answer going to be? The answer is going to be to retreat. Stropheum not interested in fighting here. You know what, let me turn this sound down just a little bit. It sounds kind of loud in my ears, but it's down where it should be. Okay, never mind. Rebuilding this wall, sniping down the Overlord. It takes like 6 hits for a Tempest to kill an Overlord. That's actually quite a lot. Again, Tempest we don't see a lot in compositions unless they're against Broodlords for Zerg. They do super well in that particular situation, which is why you don't see many Broodlords in Heart of the Swarm or in Legacy of the Void. So the Zerg player not quite sure what to do. Getting range on those Hydras, upgrading to a Hive here at the 8-minute mark, an 8-minute Hive. I love these Legacy of the Void casts. So much happens so quickly. It is very fun to watch. I hope it is as fun to play. 4th base now going down for Stropheum. Warp Prism harass. Alright, I can see this. Warp Prism saying, okay, see this base. See this base. Yep, sees the base, and what's going to happen? What are we going to do with it is the question. Nothing, because there's an attack at the front with a few Roaches and a few Hydras, but man, those Tempests do tons of damage from so far away. Their fire rate is just too slow to be super viable, though. I mean, you can't make all Tempests, usually. I have seen that work, actually. Either way, popping on in, what do we get? Just a couple Zealots to deny this base as best they can. The Zealots pop right on in. The Warp Prism hangs out doing absolutely nothing. Pretty good Overlord spread, just checking things out. Is Stropheum making sure nothing crazy is going on, although I guess he would want to have one here just to make sure nothing crazy like a proxy is happening. Can the Zealots get through? No, they can't. Should have warped in more Zealots. And nope, the Warp Prism says, sorry guys, I'm going to abandon you to your fate and head on home. I know someone's looking for me. I'm going to go up to this top corner. The Overseer is going to go the wrong way, and I will hide out. So pushing on out, are these Adepts, Sentries, Tempests, and Stalkers against a composition of Roaches and Hydralisks and, oh, okay, and a whole bunch of Lurkers. So here we go. Lurker Armory, burrowing. Do not walk into that Walnut. It is super dangerous. Stropheum is pushing on in, kind of doing a Lurker push. Yep, just like a siege tank line. Pushing Lurkers to the front while Lurkers in the back kind of protect everything. Again, the range on these things is almost insane. It's a range of 9. That is huge. What's the range on the Tempest? It's 15, so not quite as long as that, but definitely longer than Adepts, definitely longer than Stalkers with only 6. And again, Lurkers do 33 damage to armored units, which pretty much tears through anything on the ground that Protoss have. Big snipe coming down. Nothing actually dies, though. Roach is pushing ahead of the Lurkers. I don't know if this is a great decision or not, but yeah, the Roaches need to get the heck out of there. They're going to die. Adepts do pretty well against them, Stalkers as well, but maybe not super fantastic, because again, Roaches is not considered light, so they don't get that extra damage. Lurkers, let's see how quickly they can kill this. 1 volley, 2 volleys, 3 volleys to kill that cannon. About, you know, 2 and like a quarter or so, 2 3/4. But Roaches and Hydras trying to snipe things down. The Lurkers, tired of trying to take down that building, pop on over to assist in this fight. The Tempests are pretty much going unopposed. They don't have many kills, but there's, okay, 9 kills, 6 kills, 4 kills. I lied, they have a lot of kills. Tempests are doing pretty good here. A Tempest army at the 11-minute mark. Did not expect to see this at all in this game. So well done, Walnut. You have surprised me. The Lurkers, again, I don't think are a great choice just because they can't shoot up. But okay, Dark Templar drop here in the main. Does get the Queen. 1 kill. Gonna go to work on these workers. Need to pull these workers, Stropheum. Pull them away. Run them away. The game is telling you you're under attack, right? I think it is. Another Dark Templar attack here. 4 kills here on this one. Is making a Spore Crawler. This guy, where is he? Oh, he had a lot of kills though. Check it out. 41 drone kills at this point. Lurkers popping on in. Do finally manage to clean up the guy there, but this one is still alive. Taking down the Spore Crawler. 9 kills in his day. He's going to get this. Yes, 1 swipe on that drone, and it dies. So many kills. 42 kills. It is 44 to 52 Harvesters. Again, down on bases is the Protoss, but up in Harvesters because of this harassment has been so darn effective. Another base being taken by Stropheum. Neither player really close to maxed out. The attacks have been frequent enough, the battles have been frequent enough that nobody's really been able to sit back and just get that 200 army that everybody kind of wants to get in this game. It's nice to have, but either way, pushing on out is Walnut. What's his answer to the Lurkers going to be? He is still producing, actually, an Immortal there. He's getting a Robo-Bay at this point. Zooming on out because the Tempests have such a long range, trying to kill those Lurkers as best they can. Good force fields, yeah, creating an artificial choke there. Taking down Hydralisks from long range. It takes a few hits to get them, but that's okay. They're not taking hits from the Hydras in return, so that's pretty much a good deal. Zergling trying to kill every single one of these workers all by himself. Big attack. Hydras coming on forward. Lurkers at the bottom taking out a lot of units on the ground. This is not great. Adepts being killed. Sentries being killed. Dark Templar are in the army, but unfortunately there's an Overseer. It gets killed at the same time. Observer is here. Might get taken down, but the Hydra's attention is elsewhere. Hydra's trying to kill what they can, but there are just so few of them left. The Lurker unburrows as well and does manage to escape. Is this Ling still killing stuff? It is. Then has 0. Does it have 0 kills? Maybe it's a different Ling. I don't know. Either way, 105 to 105 supply, 56 to 52. Both players hanging on out, doing what they can at this point to possibly win the game. Plus 3 missile attacks now coming in for the Zerg player. More Dark Templar, possibly for more harassment. It looks like we do have Spore Crawlers in every base. Ah, Vipers coming in. Are we going to see Parasitic, what is a Parasitic Bomb? Parasitic Cloud that deals 90 damage over 7 seconds to the target and enemy air units nearby. Excuse me there, just had to cough and mute just a little bit. Did they actually kill their own hatchery? They did. They were using the consume ability to suck down hit points to make mana for themselves, and they killed their own hatchery. Have not actually seen that before. That is a first in my casts. So here we are with the Vipers. Going to try to use Parasitic Bomb, I have to assume, as we zoom out once again for this particular battle. The Viper's actually not doing anything. Maybe Abduct. Yeah, throwing down Parasitic Bomb is actually pretty darn good. Wow! These guys are melting in the air. Tempest, under the effects, finally managed to avoid it. Blinding Cloud here. All these Lurkers are going to die. The Observers need to run away, but I think that was pretty much a stalemate. Everything died but this small group for Walnut. And just a few Roaches here for Stropheum. So both players kind of bashing their heads right here against this wall, the wall that is the other player. 55 to 52 Harvesters, and that's it. Stropheum is defeated. He leaves the game. What did he have left, I guess? He had 10 Roaches, 2 Vipers, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't think he could have handled this particular army. There is an Immortal in here, a bunch of Adepts. So in the end, the weird composition of Tempest, Adept, Immortal, Stalker, Sentry was victorious with some Zealots mixed on in there against the Lurker, Viper, Hydralisk, Roach composition. So that's something we can file away for future knowledge, but Either way, this has been FalconPaladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again, Walnut, for sending this in. Very, very fun, entertaining cast. I look forward to casting more of your games in the future, and I will. So as always, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all /FalconPaladin. And until next time, you take care of yourself.